As we enter our third year, we are delighted that KBLA Talk 1580 consistently emerges as the talk station of choice for African American listeners. In a vigorous public opinion research study, the 2023 African American Media Issue Survey finds that for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 remains the most trusted, credible, and reliable media source in Southern California for African Americans and beyond. Furthermore, 80% of those surveyed agree that outlets like KBLA Talk 1580 provide honest and authentic content about the issues most important to the Black community directly from Black journalists who understand the issues that need to be addressed. At KBLA Talk 1580, we remain committed to curating conversations that matter to you. Thank you for your continued support. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. The station that sounds like the city looks.
I got it. I got it. Yeah. Come on. What you want, girl? What you need, girl? Girl, what you want? What you need? Don't just silly girl. Come into my world. Stay ahead.
Listen, it sounds like a late 80s, early 90s thing. Sounds like maybe Babyface era or something like that as far as the production, but I don't know. I'm unsure.
It does sound like 80s.
Sounds a little Bobby Brownish, but I don't know.
You want a hint?
Yes. Please.
We're at the club.
So, Strictly Business? Jeff Red?
I'm trying to find my queen.
Got it.
You trying to find your queen at the club?
I'm trying to find my queen at the club.
Okay, I give up. Stump me. Let's go. I want to know what it is right now. I
Ladies
don't
and
like
gentlemen, this is Eddie Murphy.
Okay, but you can't play this off brand. You have to play Party All the Time if you are going to play an Eddie Murphy song.
It's
Let
too
me
typical.
tell you why.
It's
No,
too typical.
let me tell you why you still have to play
No.
it. And I will go down on this ship. A few years ago, when I was in Greece, right? Mykonos. Where else did we go? Mykonos, Athens, the place with the blue tie, Santorini. Every place we hit, there was a version of Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time, and it was the bop. Like, the club went up when they played this. Couldn't understand it. The video with Rick James, that is a forever classic. I stand by that. I support Eddie with that, and I felt that deep in my heart. I don't know what that stuff was that you played. What album?
It's a legendary record. I'm not going to lie, but I decided not to play that because it was too typical. If you remember the movie Coming to America, when him and Arsenio Hall was coming into the club,
You're right.
that was the song in the background being played. And I just recently found out that was Eddie Murphy like a couple months ago.
My name is Peaches and I'm the best.
Yep. Hey.
Anyway, tonight on RSVP with Jill Munroe, second hour, we have two guests in the building. Seated with me are actors and filmmakers Athrur J. Davis and TK Richardson. They are award-winning filmmakers. Their short film, Super Dilemma, has won like 22 awards. We're not going to list out all of them because that's a great deal. Just know it's an award-winning presentation you should go check out. We're going to get their Instagram and all of that stuff when we bring them on. They're both actors, both from the Illinois area. TK, you're from the south side of Chicago,
yes,
right?
Yes,
so
yes.
Real shy town.
Yeah.
Arthur, you're a little out.
Yeah.
But we'll still include you in that.
I'm from Southern Illinois, man. Metropolis, Illinois. Don't do me like that. I
Okay.
can't hear you in the headphones. Am I supposed to be able to?
Okay, we'll get to that. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll take care of that. But what is going on with? Welcome you guys to the show, first of all, and so these are actors that are in things that you guys know of, but right now there's kind of a SAG strike, right? So we have to be very careful about how we address topics. What I will say is you've definitely seen the things that they are in. Go check them out when I give you their Instagram, and you'll be like, oh, that's okay. I know who that is. I've seen him before. Oh, I remember that one scene. Arthur, you're going to remember, not how he looks right now, but when you go peruse his Instagram, maybe I'll talk about it after they're gone. I don't know. You're going to remember that one scene. So filmmakers moved to Los Angeles to follow their dream. We're going to talk to them about their short film, about their journey, and what it's like being actors in the entertainment industry right now today. So welcome you both. I'm so excited for you to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. It is a pleasure to be here. Jill, I adore you. So I'm honored to be here.
Amazing. I'm happy for you guys to be here too. So starting off, I'm always curious on what was the moment for both of you. You decided, yep, I'm going to move to LA and follow my dream. Start with you, Arthur.
That's a tough one. I actually moved to LA to go to law school. I got into law school out here. So I came in pursuit of that. But I think like deep down, like I knew that this was the path that I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to get there or how to pursue it. So I came here to go to law school. I didn't end up going to law school. I started working at a bank, and I don't know, man. That bug was just, it was there. I knew I wasn't supposed to be working at a bank. My girlfriend at the time, who's also still my girlfriend now, she was working at a modeling agency in Kentucky. So she was getting me like little like model gigs every now and then. So the bug was there. And then I bought a Groupon for an acting class, and I took it.
Good old Groupon.
Good old Groupon. Shout out Groupon.
Oh, they come in the clutch.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
Is Groupon still popping?
What? I just got my small test done because of Groupon.
Okay.
Yeah, it saved me like $50.
So you keeping them in business.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
So I took the Groupon, and it was for an acting class, and that just kind of really got me like deep involved and was like, okay, this is really what I want to do. And it was the first time I was really around other artists, other people in pursuit of that could like tell me about how to get auditions and how to get representation, and seeing them on shows and in commercials, like, oh wow, like people really make money doing this. And so that was really like when I was like, okay, like this is it. And I was in LA maybe like two or 3 years before that happened.
Before it happened? Okay.
Yeah.
TK, what about you?
So let's see, man. So I've been doing acting since I was a kid. I started out in like theater and everything like that. And as a kid, I saw what actors did and how they, were characters, and they, did this creative world on television, movies and stuff like that. So I've been pursuing it. I went to college for it, Columbia College. I studied musical theater down there in downtown Chicago, and but I've always just tried to get to LA. That's I was just like, how can I get to LA? How can I get to LA? But by the time I want to say like in 2015, like around 2014, 2015, I think I had done everything that I could possibly saw myself doing. I think I was working a regular job at the time. I was at Sprint. I was full time, and I had just not gotten out of the love of acting. I wasn't acting. I wasn't on stage, and I noticed that around that time I was like 20, 25, and when you turn 20. Boy, them years they start going, you know what I'm saying?
Flying, right?
And I looked up and I was like 25, and I was just like, look, if you don't do it now, you are going to regret it. If you don't do it now, because when are you going to be ready? What defines ready? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I kept kind of psyching myself out, was just like, I'm not ready. But what makes you ready? Just go, just do it. So I saved up like some money from my job at Sprint. I saved up all my commission checks.
I know that's right. Thank you to all of you who upgraded on your iPhone from TK. He greatly appreciates it.
Yeah. No doubt. All them activations, yes. I saved up all them.
How much did you save up before you moved out here?
Before I moved out here, I saved up about like $5,000.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it was about like 5 months. I saved up a stack. My commission checks was about $9,000 to $1,000 a month. So I just saved up all of those, bought me a car, and kind of made some arrangements out here, and I drove from Chicago to LA in my car for 2 days straight. That's straight there. Never been to LA. Don't know where to go in LA. I just said, look, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna be around I'm 25. Because if I don't, then And then you also have to think about like I study or I watch a lot of interviews of actors that are big time, and they say, oh, it took me 10, 15, 20 years. So that was always in the back of my head too. Is like, you just do it now, you can give yourself a chance at least.
That's crazy. Can I add to that real
Yes.
quick? That's crazy that you say that because my situation was kind of similar in the sense that I did come out here to go to law school, but I was working in the mall at Proactive selling skincare in Kentucky, and the job called me because they knew I was trying to move to California, and they called and they was like, hey, listen, we have a manager position for you at Thousand Oaks in California. It's yours if you want it, but you got to be there on Monday. And this was like Wednesday. So I was like, all right, bet, I'll take it. So between Wednesday and Friday, I sold pretty much everything I had. I packed the Mustang. I got out of my lease. I had a friend of mine take over my lease, and as well just drove from Kentucky to LA. Not really. I'd been to LA for a weekend because I went and visited a bunch of different schools. So I'd been to LA to check it out, but I didn't know where I was gonna stay when I came out here. Like, I got to Vegas, and I remembered I had a friend in high school who lived in LA. So I called her while I was in Vegas. I hit her up on Facebook. I got her phone number, and then I called her. I'm like, yo, I'm moving to LA, and she's like, all right, when you gonna be here? I'm like, 6 hours.
Well, when we come forward, we're going to hear more about Athrur and TK's backstory. We're going to get into their short film, Super Dilemma. And I'm going to check in with them about what their favorite Eddie Murphy comedy is. All of that and more when we return. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried new Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like Sprinklers in the Rain and Leaky Faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, it's Jill Munroe. Thank you for rocking with me, VIPs. You are checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Now, before we came forward, remember we have two guests tonight, Athrur J. Davis and TK. I just dropped your last name, TK Richardson. I knew it was going to come back because I'm that girl.
Yes, you are.
So I wanted to ask, Athrur, you mentioned finding out in a couple of days, like on a Wednesday, you had to be here Friday. So, and you were in a relationship. Yeah. What was that conversation like?
Well, the plan was to get here anyways. I asked him, like, yo, you want to move to Los Angeles? Crazy thing, we'd only known each other like 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months. And I was like, yo, you want to move to Los Angeles? And she was like, yes. Like, let's go.
That's what you call a down-ass. That's what people are looking for,
yeah.
right? That's the ride or die. That's like, I'm going to rock with you, baby. I'm going to
go.
support you. We're going to do this together.
Yeah, man. She was the first person, like, I told, like, yo, I think I want to be an actor. And her reaction to that is probably one of the main reasons I'm still going. She didn't laugh. It wasn't like, oh, that's crazy. It was like, yeah, of course, let's do it. So yeah, I told her, she had been saving money as well. We had been saving money together. And, so she was like, okay, yeah, like, let's do it. And so I came out here. I stayed with my friend for like a month until I found a place. And then when I found a place, she came up afterwards. But, while I was here, when she wasn't here, like, she was blowing my phone up a lot. She didn't like being stuck at home.
Because look, you out in the fun stuff. I'm getting it together. So whatever. Keep me in the loop, babe. What are we doing tonight? I hear that.
Yeah, thank God there wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't posting what I was doing, just having fun. Like,
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
No incrimination.
Nah, nothing. There's nothing to incriminate.
TK, what about you? Were you single when you made the decision? Were you involved?
Yeah, no, I was single. I was doing my thing.
I was me.
Yeah, like, no, I didn't have. I mean, that was one of the reasons that I think it was just a little easy for me to just kind of like just up and go. I mean, aside from like family and friends or whatever the case is, but for me it was just like, listen, I got to live for me. I got to live my life, and and if it don't turn out the way I want it to turn out, or at least put the effort to try, then that's on me. So. I was open. Hey, it wasn't no decision or nothing. I just left. Yeah.
You had nobody you had to let go? No conversations?
Nah, no conversations.
Really?
I mean,
you were just
like
working
family.
at Sprint? You were just working at Sprint?
Something about the story don't seem right. Jill.
Like, it's something missing. You were just working at Sprint.
I mean,
toiling on your dream and like, I'm going to hit the road.
Come on.
No little, no.
Cap.
Baby.
Listen, if you was that girl that the TK just didn't respond to no more, like, call the line. We want to hear.
Man, no.
800-920-1580 if you got questions. You want to ask TK how it was that he had nobody as far as,
nothing serious. No, nothing serious.
Okay,
though,
nothing serious to you or nothing serious to her. Sometimes there's a difference.
Situation.
Nah, I mean, it's just it wasn't like, I mean, I was just doing me. You
Okay,
know what I'm saying?
okay.
So,
That's a man that's focused on his dreams.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's right.
That's
you
my
knew
dog.
what you. I appreciate that. So, something you two share in common is that in 2020 you were both in a major network showcase for actors. There were 16 actors selected out of 25,000, and you were two of them.
Correct.
What was that experience like, going through those steps, submitting yourself, waiting? What was that process like for you?
Well, I know for myself, so it was 2020, so I think I had probably auditioned for this particular showcase like 3 times or twice before the one time in 2020 that I had gotten it. And it was for me, I think it more so was mentally challenging. You know what I'm saying? Because we did about maybe 3-4 callbacks that we had to come and be online on Zoom, and this is also something new from what they're usually doing. You know, they're usually do it on stage, and they do in person, where this was like virtual reality because of not virtual reality, but you know, over Zoom and stuff like that. So and actually, particularly for me, I was dealing with a lot of
stuff.
Let's say I was dealing with a lot of transitioning from living situations and a lot of violence that happened that had occurred from that particular situation, and I had to like get up the next day and tune in until I can do this callback so I can try to be a star and like, you know, and everything, and trying to get in with this network. So that whole process was like very, very challenging for me. But I will say when that last round, when they was just like, hey, we all came in thinking we was gonna do another whole little audition segment, and they just like, you know, you guys got it. And I ain't gonna hold you. The vents somewhere in the windows was open. The vents was blowing in my eyes, and you know, or the onions was cutting or something. But
it was
you
a
know,
little misty, like
I don't
something
know,
got in your eye.
Yeah, I don't know
flew in
what
your eye.
happened, but it was like, yeah, you know. But yeah.
What about you, Arthur?
Yeah, I would say the same. I had auditioned. I've been auditioning for that specific showcase maybe like 5 or 6 years, and I had gotten through a few rounds, but then it just, you know, I never got there, you know. And in 2019, I got to maybe like the second round or third round in 2018. I submitted in 2019, and then they didn't even call me in, like, at all. And I was like, dang, like, how I go from, like, the second round to I don't even get a call back? Like, I can't even come in and audition? So, like, that was heartbreaking. And then I submitted again in 2020, and I think the only reason I submitted is because it was during the pandemic, and there just wasn't anything else to do.
Okay.
You know, other than that, because I kind of, after I didn't get an opportunity in 2019, I was kind of like, you know what? Like, forget this showcase. Like, I'm dope. Y'all don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know.
I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that tip. Like, y'all don't
You
need
don't
y'all.
know.
Y'all know.
I mean, but
dope I am.
like Aaliyah said, you know, at first you don't succeed, dust yourself
That's
off
it.
and try
You
again.
got to.
You know?
So, yeah. The
like
pandemic,
your player, Dwayne Wade, fall down 7
Listen,
times, stand up
Stand
8.
up 8. Shout out D Wade. I love me some D Wade. Yeah, that's my dog.
Okay. So I posed a question before we came forward. I wanted to know which Eddie Murphy classic is your favorite. I'm going to give you a choice of 4. Right?
I don't need a choice. I know.
Listen, I'm going to give you a choice of 4. I spotted this on Twitter on Culture 24/7. So the choices that they put out were Boomerang, Life, Coming to America, and Harlem Nights. So bonus round if you put them in order of your favorites. Who wants to go first?
Okay, so
this is TK, by the way, because I don't want nobody getting confused of whose list is whose. I don't know what he's gonna say. So TK's going first. He's gonna tell you what.
Okay, so from one, like, best to least.
Your best to your least favorite, or not even the least, whatever it is for you.
My rankings of the movies. Okay, so I'm gonna give me Life
first. Okay.
What was the other one?
Life, Boomerang, Coming to America, and Harlem Nights.
Life. I'm gonna say Coming to America. What was the other one?
Boomerang, Harlem
Nights, and then Boomerang.
So Boomerang's last.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's exactly why I needed to tell the people.
And we had to talk about this movie Boomerang already.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's my guy though. All right, so I'm going Boomerang.
Yes.
Harlem Nights.
Yes.
Life. And
Coming to America. Yes. My list matches with Arthur. Let me tell you why. Well, you tell why first. Your list is your list.
I mean, honestly, I think I would put Boomerang up against any classic. You can call it a rom-com. It's really a kind of a rom-com movie, right?
It is.
You can put that against any rom-com. Like the way they, like just the chemistry of the characters. You got Martin Lawrence in there. You got Eddie at his peak. You got
Tisha Campbell,
Tisha
Robin
Campbell,
Givens, Halle Berry.
What's my man's name? Gerard. Who's Gerard? Who plays Gerard?
Oh, David Allen Greer.
Oh my gosh, you got
David
Allen
Bang,
Greer.
Bang, Bang.
You got Pops, and then you got the soundtrack.
Right, one of the best soundtracks ever.
Of all time.
I am with you because it showed beautiful black people in an industry we weren't used to seeing on screen, making moves, just having relationships. They were black, but it wasn't like black.
It wasn't. Yes, it was just having. Strong J on there with the
Grace Jones.
Listen,
Eartha Kitt. I mean, just
it's legend. And the Harlem Nights is legendary too. But
yes.
I was telling TK we're doing another short film that we're shooting in December, and it's like a sci-fi thriller. But the relationship elements that I've based the characters off of, and the love that's shown throughout the film, I took a lot from Boomerang.
Okay, see, so look how appropriate my question was.
I took a lot
even know
from
that.
Boomerang. Yeah.
I
took like some elements from Boomerang that you would have to you'd have to know Boomerang to see and be like, okay, that's from Boomerang. You know what I'm saying? But like that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
Of all time.
Mine too. I agree with it 100%. The soundtrack alone.
Oh,
Tony Braxton, Love Should Have Brought You Home last night. Halle saying that line. Punching Eddie in the head, the little punchback. Moms and pops getting busy in the bathroom. You got to coordinate so many classic lines.
So many classic lines.
So many. I mean, we always get that from Eddie Murphy films, but what Boomerang set the stage for, especially for me, was seeing a black romantic comedy. I had never seen anything like that in action before that film came out. And also, too, like I said, they were working. They were beautiful.
The fashion.
The fashion
in that movie. I mean, you can watch it today. It still holds strong today, as does Life and as does Harlem Nights.
They all do.
But yeah, you can watch Boomerang right now, and you will laugh. You will be angry. You will cry. You know what I'm saying? It gives you all the feels and the music. Yeah. Shout out Boomerang. That is.
Absolutely. Well, when we come forward, we're going to get into Super Dilemma, find more about their short film, award-winning short film. We're also going to talk about some of these trending topics, and I'm going to get Arthur and TK's take on it. One of them involves dating apps and the percentage of taking people utilizing them, and the Golden Bachelor. All of that and more when we come forward. You're listening to News and Sports. Up next, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580 with Jill Munroe.
What you want, what you need, what you want, what you need.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Millions of people in the U.S. are dealing with extreme heat and smoke pollution from Canada. The National Weather Service says triple-digit temperatures could last through the middle of the week from Texas to the lower Mississippi Valley as a high-pressure dome moves westward. Meanwhile, smoke from Canadian wildfires has prompted air quality alerts for parts of the Midwest, the Great Lakes, Tennessee, North Carolina, and the Northeast. Heavy rain and thunderstorms caused many issues for American airports. According to FlightAware, over 3,800 flights have been delayed so far across the country. Meanwhile, over 300 flights were canceled on Monday. And lottery officials say the Powerball drawing is now at an estimated $900 million after no one matched all 6 numbers in Saturday's drawing. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Like to shop local? Go to ComparianInsurance.com. Their agents are local insurance experts finding you the right insurance at the right price from national carriers. Comparian Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
2 years ago, on Juneteenth 2021, KBLA Talk 1580 launched with a promise to give disenfranchised fellow citizens a voice in current political, economic, social, and cultural issues with an empowering, sustainable, and restorative language.
Everybody's gotta live the life under the sun, under the sun, under the sun.
As we enter our 3rd year, we are delighted that KBLA Talk 1580 consistently emerges as the talk station of choice for African American listeners. In a vigorous public opinion research study, the 2023 African American Media Issue Survey finds that for the 2nd consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 remains the most trusted, credible, and reliable media source in Southern California for African Americans and beyond. Furthermore, 80% of those surveyed agree that outlets like KBLA Talk 1580 provide honest and authentic content about the issues most important to the Black community directly from Black journalists who understand the issues that need to be addressed. At KBLA Talk 1580, we remain committed to curating conversations that matter to you. Thank you for your continued support. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. The station that sounds like the city looks.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCEL scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
To my hometown, my community. Some of you have known me my whole life. Do you notice anything different about the kids in the neighborhood? Ever paid attention? You might start with gifts, money, attention. These are signs. Child trafficking is happening right here in this town. So don't just watch through the window. Pay attention. Because the more we know, the more we'll all know to say no. Learn the signs to look for and how to help at no-to-say-no.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what? That's what I'm talking about, DJ. Yeah. I heard you was quite the seat dancer, Jill.
I am the seat dancer. Let me tell you why. Because I can't really get my full, 1-2 on, so I get my cheer bops on.
Yeah.
I turn it up that way. Listen, this was a time when people still slow dance. When's the last time you guys slow dance? Random topic.
I slow dance all the time.
Do you? Okay, TK.
I do miss those days in the club when the last 20 minutes were just dedicated to slow songs and slow dancing and grooving and trying to find, make your way to see who's moving like you moving. Man,
and just to calm people down before they get the door.
Yeah.
To get them out there,
to get them focused on something else. Yeah, focus on something else.
Bring it down for the night.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I mean,
I appreciate that song. I appreciate that.
Thank you go.
That was a nice little vibe. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's Boomerang, bro.
Oh, that was Boomerang?
That's
See,
Boomerang
this is what I'm talking about. He's disqualified. This is TK. That is not Arthur. I just want the people to know you're disqualified.
Hey, that was a vibe, though.
Oh my God. You want to change it? You want to change it? You want to change your top 4
and
now?
listen to the entire Boomerang soundtrack as an adult, and watch it as an adult, and then we're gonna follow up. We're gonna circle back. You got homework. It's okay.
It's okay.
And I want to know what you think. I'm anxious to hear your thoughts when you look at it again as an adult.
I will.
That's crazy.
So I want to ask you guys about Super Dilemma, where the concept came from, and how long it took you to shoot it. And one thing that we always ask independent filmmakers, well, I'm always starting to ask because, we're still new here. We're still growing. How did you fund it? How did you finance it? Because that goes into a big part of the creative process. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to find the money. And it really is hide and seek to find it sometimes. So I want to know the concept conceptually, how you came up with it and what brought it all together.
Well, I'll say this. So as we all know, Arthur, he wrote Super Dilemma. He wrote it for the showcase. And once they decided they didn't want to use it, me in the back of my head, and the whole time we actually are performing it and we're working on it and we're doing it, I'm like, I need a fight reel. Okay, this is what I'm saying about. I need a fight reel. I'm trying to get into action. I'm trying to get into that world of acting and everything like that. And I thought that his script was perfect for that. Just me and him, 2 actors. I knew a guy that actually, my good friend Vito. He's into the military, so he actually does combat training.
Okay.
And he does. He choreographs those fights. He does stuff like that. I mean, he's A1. He trains me as a boxer. He trains other actors and actors that are into that stuff. So
shout out Vito.
Shout out to Vito Sworn. Yeah.
He's
V Sworn on Instagram.
He's dope.
So
wait, while you're giving out his Instagram really quickly, give out your Instagram.
Oh yeah, my Instagram is TK Richie. That's TKRICHY. You can find me on Instagram right there.
Arthur, yours.
And mine is the Clark Kent. TheKlarkkKent.
Do that one more time.
The Clark Kent. TheKlarkkKent.
Got it. Okay, now TK, back to you and the creation of Super Dilemma.
Yeah. So and so prior to that, I always wanted to produce. That was the kind of the thing. It was like I didn't want to just be an actor, but I was always afraid to try to step out and be a producer. But I think 2020 came of abundance of things, and one of that was EDD. Unemployment. That money that was coming in, it was given a lot of it, and so I decided to use a good portion of what I was getting to pay for
legally.
We
just want to make that clear.
Yeah, legally. with and try to gather all of my resources. So a good friend of mine, Nick Collins, he was able to be an editor. Then we had one of the other guys in the showcase. His name is Chase Yee. He decided to agree and be the director. And we actually had training sessions that Vito helped us with. And when I, all brought it to Arthur, he was down with it. I mean, he was like, sure, let's do it. And that's kind of like how and then we split costs. I mean, anything that was I really appreciate Arthur for that, because I honestly wasn't asking him or like to do that. Like he was like, he saw what he saw. I guess he believed in what he saw, and he was like, I guess he wanted to take part and help out, and just like, I want this to be just as good as you want it to be. And that's kind of how that we did. It was all of our money, both of our money. We put the money together, and we just
networking across, really.
Absolutely.
So what is the premise and the concept for Super Dilemma?
So the script came because the showcase we were in, they let us know that if we wanted to, we could write and submit our own scenes to possibly be in the showcase and be in the showcase as an actor and as a writer. And so that was interesting to me because I kind of just started doing more writing. And so I really based it on the showcase. I knew it needed to be 2 people in a simple location. And so I just kind of started brainstorming and thinking about like, okay, it's this specific network that does these type of shows and movies. And I was like, okay, well, what would happen if you had like a superhero and a villain, and their origin story was like they're best friends and roommates, but they don't know who they are outside of, their homes and their friendships, right? Like they don't know that the person they're living with is their enemy outside in the superhero world. Okay,
because they have their covert identities.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yes, because they have their covert identities. Yes. So that's where the premise came from, and so then I just kind of started writing around that. And the one thing with the showcase was they said anything's all game, but it just needs to be equal dialogue and equal showcasing between each characters. And so that's really where it came from. And so I submitted it, and they loved it, and they had me do some tweaks to it, and they let a bunch of different artists read it. And they ended up coming back to me and just being like, hey, we really love this, and we would use it, but we find it to be a little unfair that you would get to be both an actor and a writer, and we don't want to, boost you up more than, your castmates. So they ended up not going with it. They ended up not going with it, and but it was probably the best thing. It was probably the best thing to happen, because I let it go. I started writing other things, and then TK comes out the blue, and he's like, "Hey man, let's shoot it." And so we did. He put a team together, and we put our own money into this thing. And now we have it.
The epitome of networking across. So this was your first time producing, right?
Yes.
So Arthur, was this your first time writing, or had you been writing like scenes or thinking about doing stuff prior to this?
Yeah, I have been writing. I've written like a feature. I've written some other shorts and things like that. But this is the first thing that I've wrote, and then from writing to screen.
To develop it and actually put it out there.
Exactly. Wait, no, I'm lying.
You did something else?
I did, but nobody saw it because it was trash.
Okay, well, that happens. When we come forward, we're going to have more with Arthur and TK. We're going to talk about these 2 trending topics. One is about dating apps. One is about the Golden Bachelor. And you're going to be interested in the Golden Bachelor story. That I promise you. All that and more, VIPs. You are checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
Hollywood Walk of Fame stars in 2024. Stay tuned to find out who's in next year's class. I'm Aisha Cairo with your K-Black Minute News. A new group of 31 entertainment professionals across film, television, radio, recording, and sports entertainment will have their names etched into Hollywood's history in 2024. One of the most celebrated names on the list was the beloved Chadwick Boseman. Others for the class of 2024 in Hollywood Walk of Fame was this year's Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh in the motion picture category. Other notable names include Chris Pine, Gwen Stefani, Andre, Dr. Dre, Young, Otis Redding, Christina Ricci, Brandy Norwood, Harry Washington, and more. The dates for the star ceremonies have not yet been scheduled. To find out all 31 inductees, visit youtube.com/Walk of Fame.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for voting rights. When We All Vote is a leading national nonpartisan initiative on a mission to change the culture around voting and to increase participation in each and every election by helping to close the race and age gap. Created by Michelle Obama, When We All Vote brings together individuals, institutions, brands, and organizations to register new voters across the country and advance civic education for the entire family and voters of every age to build an informed and engaged electorate for today and generations to come. When We All Vote empowers their supporters and volunteers to take action through voting, advocating for their rights, and holding their elected officials accountable. Please visit whenweallvote.org to stand up for your rights, voting rights. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
Hey, it's Jill Munroe. You are checking out RSVP with me and my two guests, TK Richardson and Athrur J. Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
So, really quickly, looking at the poll on YouTube and the opinions of which is the best Eddie Murphy comedy, we got to talk, VIP. So, coming in at number one with 57% of the votes, Coming to America. You know,
that was my number two choice.
I mean, I appreciate Coming to America, but it's definitely not my I'm not mad. I'm just saying it's not my number one.
I'm not mad.
So, coming in second with 29% of the votes, shout out to TK.
Hey, Life in the building. What's going on? Eddie Murphy in the
And then coming in third is Boomerang. Y'all don't got taste. And then I'm really upset. I'm going to tell you that I'm really upset that Harlem Nights has 0
Oh, don't nobody
votes.
like the pinky toe?
Let me tell you, how disrespectful is it to give 0 votes to Harlem Nights? And let me tell you why. Red Fox, comedian legend, set the pace, set the tone with his records, his blue record comedy in the, late 50s, early 60s. Richard Pryor, the king, undisputed king of comedy as far as I'm concerned. Storyteller. I mean, you know, honest.
Shot me in my pinky toe.
Listen, and Eddie Murphy, 1988, at the height of Eddie Murphyism, the three together on screen. Miss Della Reese, you guys are tripping.
You know what that tells me?
Justice for Harlem Nights.
That tells me what? That tells me something. That list tells me that this is a young crowd.
Oh man,
listening to Miss Jill on
You
KBLA
would think-
1580. That is a young crowd. That is this is city girl crowd.
Oh, you're
know what I'm
saying that I
saying?
bring out the city girl.
Yeah, you bringing out the city girls.
This is
Andy, what say
hilarious.
you?
This is hilarious.
That's a city girl pole, man.
I think it was maybe just the selection of movies. Like
Okay.
let's say you threw in a Beverly Hills Cop
Or a Nutty
or a
Professor.
Nutty
Or a
Professor.
Nutty Professor.
The percentages might be a little bit different.
I'm just
Dr.
saying
Dolittle.
the fact that Harlem Nights got no votes tell me they're not really that familiar with Harlem Nights.
Right.
Right. And then and also like, the #1 movie, it's his
the
older
popular
stuff.
choice.
It's the popular choice and it's the older.
Well, to be fair, except for Life, which was 99, all of these movies were really from the 80s. So, and again, I didn't put them together. I just found it on Twitter. But it was an interesting look at selections. I still stand by my list. I still disagree with some. I love y'all. But I'm going to have to disagree just slightly.
Strongly. Although, Coming to America is...
I mean, it's a great movie. No.
It's a fantastic movie.
Moments, sexual chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different things. Arsenio Hall, as the character in the club.
The barbershop scenes.
Everything. The makeup.
For sure.
Now, shout out to Urban Spinster. She basically says that her vote was based on Eddie's performances versus the cast. So that was how she voted.
Okay, and Urban Spinster said, oh, hell no. City girls, no, baby. No. So, and her name is Urban Spinster. We know what spinsters are. So I'm going to just say, girl, you're not a spinster. You might just be, spinning. Whatever. Drake and 21 Savage spin about you. Anyway. So
Shout out Urban Spinster.
Listen, there is a new Bachelor coming in the fall to a network reality TV thing, but there's a twist this time on the story, and I want to get both of your opinions on it. Okay. So the show is going to be called The Golden Bachelor, right? This is going to be the first year, and it stars Gary Turner. He's a 71-year-old man from Indiana. He's a widower, and it's all a senior-based reality dating series. So the women are 65 and up that will be competing for his time. The format is going to be similar to The Bachelor and so forth, the, show that originated all of this all. This Gary is a retired restaurateur. He lives in Indiana. He was married 43 years to his high school sweetheart, Tony. She fell ill and passed away in 2017. He has 2 daughters. He's a grandfather. And his likes and what he would like his mate to be interested in, pickleball, barbecues, four-wheeling, and the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, he's active.
Okay,
He's
Chicago
active.
Bulls.
He's out there
He's out
in
there.
his senior sunset years. So what are your feelings on a dating show for the senior set?
Hey, I mean,
turn up.
I mean, it's got to be something out here for everybody to watch and stuff like that. They still need love too. Life ain't over. It's probably a good thing to see that actually to kind of maybe inspire, motivate, or make people of that age think that it's not too late.
I mean, if you're 70, like what era was your prime? Like, was that? Nah, for real. Hold on, time out. Why y'all laughing? Like, I'm saying, what era was that? Is that like
you were probably born in the 1950s, late 40s, early 50s. So that means you went to prom in the 60s.
Is that like Flower? Is that like
Flower Child,
Babies,
hippie era? Yeah, the
James
rise
Brown,
of Motown,
funk era.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they
Civil rights movement.
Yeah, they gonna turn up. That was a wild era, right? Like,
right.
That was a wild. So they just, because you gotta think, the type of mindset
a baby boomer have.
Keep
it cool.
No.
Okay,
respect. Like I'm like you gotta imagine the type of mindset you have to get an email to say, hey, we want you to be on a reality show when you 70. You like, yeah, that's me.
So no, listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. His kids heard about it. His 2 daughters, and were like, Dad, you should do this. Because, again, he's a widower. He married his high school sweetheart.
Right.
So that's all that he was with. And she died suddenly. So they wanted to see him be happy. They thought he was a vivacious man. And they're
I mean, he's
like
active. It's respect to him. He shouldn't at the end of the day, nobody should have to be alone. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you got to do to meet people, like there shouldn't be an age limit on finding love. You know, first and foremost. But the way the Bachelor set up,
and this he got money.
Well, they said he's a retired restaurateur. So, I mean, I'm sure they're not going to send a broke Bachelor candidate for the senior set.
Not for the first run.
You know?
Not for the first run.
So, he probably has a couple of coins in the bank.
Okay.
I think to introduce this concept, the Bachelor is probably the best way to do it because the Bachelor's a little more mild, right? In terms of like cutting up. Right,
Okay.
compared to like a Love Island or like some of the other like
can I tell you the truth?
reality shows.
I have not ever watched The Bachelor.
Me neither. Thank you.
I haven't either.
I've watched my Flavor of Love
Hey,
when that was
Flavor of
going.
Love.
I watched Rock of Love.
I watched Flavor of Love,
but I
Love
did
New
not
York.
watch I love New York, but I never watched For the Love of Ray J.
For the love of Ray J.
Absolutely watched For the Love of Ray J.
I can't say I watched that one. I think I
But
tapped out at Flavor of Love.
You didn't watch For the Love of Ray J? You didn't
Nah.
watch Danger? Okay.
Nah.
Anyway.
I've been watching One More Chance
Listen,
and Love.
One More Chance. Listen, that era in like the mid 2000s of dating shows and stuff, that was a classic reality show time period. What went on, you know?
But would you watch that? Would you
Would I
watch
watch-
the 70 plus version of The Bachelor? Like, does that interest you? Just the concept
And watch him compete for the man's
and watch him
love?
compete. For
Kind
this guy?
of, yeah, because I would be kind of curious to see what, the older elders in our, society that want to go on TV and do this, what they're looking for, how they feel. Now, would I tune in week to week? Probably not, but I might check out an episode or two just out of curiosity to see, who's involved, what they look like, what type of women are coming on there. Because I'm curious, who is signing up like, yes, I'm going on a reality show at 65 years old to find my forever companion or whatever in the sunset years of my life. I'm not mad at it. I think everybody deserves an opportunity at love, but I just don't know.
That's a lot of patience.
What's patience about it? What do you mean?
I think that's a lot of patience. Or because I feel like at that age, right, there's going to be a lot of what you're not going to deal with and what you is going to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at this point, you know
what you want.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing too.
70-year-old man.
But it might be different too. It might just be companionship. It may not necessarily be all about, romance and the flowers and what you think of when you're younger as far as a relationship and connections and all of that. So
that's cap. You know what? I think you know what? If I wasn't boycotting network TV right now, I would be tuned in because they say that the STD rates are crazy high in the nursing homes.
They are.
Right?
They are.
They active like.
Yes, it is
That's
factual.
That's fact.
When we come forward, Arthur and I will explain the phenomenon behind that.
Please explain.
Because there definitely, it's true, and there definitely is a reason behind that. All that and more, you are checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information